Middleweight adventure bikes used to be the compromise. Now they're the sweet spot. Light enough for real trails, powerful enough for highways, and versatile enough to tour coast to coast. In this countdown, we're revealing the 12 best middleweight adventure motorcycles you can buy in 2025. Let's get started. Number 12. Moto Guzzi FIV 85 TT. If you want a middleweight adventure bike that's overflowing with character, the Moto Guzzi FIV 85 TT brings something truly unique to the table. Powered by an air-cooled V-twin engine, this motorcycle puts down around 80 horsepower and 60 pound-feet of torque from its 853 cubic centimeter power plant. The V85 TT features a shaft drive, which is a major benefit for touring riders who want durability and low maintenance without sacrificing real-world performance. Fuel range is another high point, thanks to a large 23-liter gas tank that supports serious mileage between fill-ups. The ergonomics are upright and inviting, with a wide handlebar, a plush seat, and ample leg room, making it particularly attractive to older riders who care about comfort during long-distance rides. Braking is managed by dual-disc brakes up front with radial-mounted calipers and a single disc in the rear. The system is supported by modern traction control and anti-lock braking, offering safety without intruding on the experience. The suspension includes a non-adjustable telescopic front fork and a preload adjustable rear monoshock, tuned more for comfort than aggressive off-road hits. The V85 TT weighs approximately 563 pounds wet, striking a balance between stability and maneuverability. Tech-wise, the V85 TT includes a clean TFT dash display that shows all essential data, along with selectable ride modes, cruise control, and full LED lighting. For 2025, Moto Guzzi has updated the switchgear, added new paint options, and made minor refinements to the suspension. The design maintains its retro styling while offering practical touring functionality. With a starting price of approximately $12,500, the V85 TT offers a premium feel without entering ultra-expensive territory. Riders looking for charm, long-haul reliability, and a different flavor from the usual adventure lineup will appreciate this bike's personality and practicality. If soul and style are your priorities, few bikes speak louder than the Guzzi. But now, let's jump to something much leaner and meaner. Number 11. Cove 800X Pro. If your adventure style leans toward rough terrain, rocky trails, and maximizing control over machine weight, the Cove 800X Pro might be the middleweight you never knew you needed. This Chinese-built machine uses a KTM-inspired 799 cubic centimeter parallel twin that puts out a solid 94 horsepower and 65 pound-feet of torque. That's more than enough punch for dirt work, spirited road riding, and anything in between. Where the Cove really stands out is weight, or the lack of it. With a claimed curb weight of just under 410 pounds fully fueled, it's one of the lightest adventure bikes in its class. Even after factoring in real-world gear and a full tank, it still weighs about 20 pounds less than the Yamaha Tenere 700, which is often the benchmark for lightweight dual sport performance. The Cove 800X Pro rides on long travel suspension with an inverted front fork and a high-mounted rear shock, making it ideal for clearing obstacles and soaking up abuse. Spoked wheels and a tall ground clearance help it stand up to the demands of off-road exploration. The seat height is tall, right around 34.5 inches, but that's a trade-off many are willing to accept for the extra ground clearance and suspension travel. You also get standard features like switchable anti-lock braking, multiple ride modes, and a surprisingly modern full-color dash display. The bodywork is minimal and angular, giving the bike a utilitarian, rally-ready look that's more about function than flash. Despite its lightweight and off-road focus, the Cove 800X Pro offers a composed on-road ride, especially at moderate speeds. With a starting price of just under $9,000, it's one of the best values in this segment for riders who want real off-road credentials without breaking the bank. Minimal weight, maximum adventure. But what if you need a little more brand confidence under your saddle? Everything we ride with is in the description. Gear that works, tested and trusted. Grab yours below. Number 10. Suzuki V-Strom 800DE. For riders who need a motorcycle that can commute during the week, tour on the weekends, and still handle gravel trails with ease, the V-Strom 800DE delivers a near-perfect balance. Underneath the bodywork sits a newly developed 776 cubic centimeter parallel twin that puts out 83 horsepower and 57 pound-feet of torque. The result is smooth, manageable power that's friendly for newer riders and rewarding for seasoned ones. This DE version is designed with adventure in mind. It includes a 21-inch front spoked wheel and a 19-inch rear mounted with dual-purpose tires. Long travel Showa suspension allows for up to 8 inches of wheel movement, making the bike ready for trails, dirt roads, and rough tarmac alike. While it may not be a full rally bike, it brings confidence and predictability to varied conditions. Suzuki has done an excellent job integrating modern tech into the package. A full-color TFT dash provides access to 3 ride modes, multiple levels of traction control, and an off-road G mode that adjusts throttle response and braking for better loose surface control. Dual front disc brakes and a rear disc provide excellent stopping power, supported by a switchable anti-lock braking system for trail situations. The ergonomics are typical of the V-Strom line, upright, relaxed, and spacious. The windshield offers decent protection and the seat allows for long hours in the saddle without fatigue. With a wet weight of just over 500 pounds, the DE model remains stable and manageable even at low speeds. Priced around $11,300, the V-Strom 800DE is not the flashiest bike on the list, but it may be the most balanced. Riders who appreciate proven engineering and versatility will find this one hard to fault. It's the definition of dependable. Dependable, rugged, and familiar. But next up, let's explore a bike that feels anything but conventional. We did the hard work. Spec sheets, ride tests, tech breakdowns. You just get the best bikes in one list. That's worth a subscribe, right? Don't let this research go to waste. Number 9. Triumph Tiger 900 Rally Pro. For riders who crave versatility without sacrificing style or sophistication, the Triumph Tiger 900 Rally Pro stands tall as one of the most well-rounded adventure motorcycles in its class. Powering the Rally Pro is a distinctive 888 cubic centimeter triple engine that produces 94 horsepower and 64 pound-feet of torque. It's not just the numbers that impress, but how they're delivered. Thanks to Triumph's T-plane crank design, this triple behaves with the strong bottom-end pull of a twin and the smooth, high-revving nature of a multi-cylinder engine. The Rally Pro model is specifically tuned for off-road endurance and rugged terrain with longer travel suspension and dirt-focused geometry. The suspension system includes a fully adjustable Showa fork and rear shock, offering both comfort and capability whether you're on forest trails or fire roads. Braking performance is handled by dual front discs with Brembo-style calipers and a single rear disc, all integrated with cornering anti-lock braking and switchable off-road settings for increased control. The tech suite is substantial. You get 6 ride modes, including dedicated off-road and off-road pro settings. A 7-inch TFT display provides full connectivity, turn-by-turn navigation, and access to bike settings. The heated grips, cruise control, quick shifter, and center stand come as standard on this premium trim. For touring enthusiasts, the windscreen is manually adjustable, and the ergonomics are dialed in for long-haul comfort with a commanding view of the road ahead. Weighing in at just under 530 pounds wet, the Rally Pro feels balanced on the move, even when fully loaded. The chassis is narrow between the knees, and the handlebars offer excellent leverage whether standing or seated. This makes the bike equally at home on paved twisties or technical trails. Priced from around $15,700, it delivers a complete package for riders who want a refined machine without giving up real adventure capability. Refined, rowdy, and ready for anything, but if you prefer silent simplicity over high-tech wizardry, this next one's got your name on it. Number 8. Yamaha Tenere 700. Few motorcycles have earned their reputation the hard way like the Yamaha Tenere 700. Built around the legendary CP2 engine, this middleweight uses a 689 cubic centimeter parallel twin that delivers 72 horsepower and 68 pound-feet of torque. That may sound modest on paper, but what makes the Tenere shine is how well it translates that output into off-road traction and rider confidence. The Tenere 700's minimalist approach is one of its greatest strengths. Unlike more electronics-heavy rivals, this machine focuses on the essentials: a strong chassis, a responsive motor, and rock-solid dependability. For 2025, Yamaha has introduced a few key upgrades to modernize the platform without sacrificing its rugged DNA. These include refined electronics, improved switchgear, and a slight tweak to the rider triangle for better ergonomics on long rides. The suspension setup features long-travel KYB components with full adjustability in the front and rear. The front wheel is 21 inches while the rear is 18 inches, both spoked and ready for aggressive trail use. Braking is handled by dual front discs and a single rear disc, supported by a switchable anti-lock braking system. The overall weight comes in just under 450 pounds wet, making it one of the lightest true adventure bikes in its class. The cockpit is utilitarian but functional. A compact digital dash provides core ride data, and the tank offers enough fuel capacity for genuine adventure rides. Seat height is on the taller side, but most riders find it manageable thanks to the narrow frame and confident balance when moving. With a base price of around $10,500, the Tenere 700 delivers unbeatable value for riders who prefer dirt over dashboard menus. It's a machine for purists, those who believe adventure should be felt in the handlebars, not the electronics suite. Low on frills, but high on thrills, though the next machine proves you can get both. Number 7. Honda Transalp 750. The Honda Transalp 750 is one of those motorcycles that does everything well without screaming for attention. It uses the same 755 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine found in the Hornet, but it's been tuned here for smoother delivery and a more relaxed riding style. The engine produces 90 horsepower and 55 pound-feet of torque, giving it enough punch for highway overtakes and mountain climbs while maintaining Honda's signature composure and efficiency. This is not a bike that tries to dominate the conversation, it lets its capability speak for itself. The frame is lightweight yet sturdy, and the handling strikes a near-perfect balance between on-road agility and off-road confidence. It is one of the most approachable middleweights available, especially for riders who want to dip into adventure touring without dealing with the bulk of larger models. For the 2025 model year, Honda made several updates that subtly enhance the ride. A redesigned headlight gives the bike a sharper front-end look while improving visibility. Suspension components have also been revised to better absorb off-road bumps and to maintain composure when loaded up with luggage or a passenger. That added confidence comes in handy whether you're crossing rough terrain or cruising across the state line. Braking is handled by dual front discs with axial calipers and a single rear disc, backed by Honda's traction control and anti-lock braking systems. The suspension uses long-travel telescopic forks up front and a rear monoshock, making it ready for uneven terrain while still being smooth on pavement. The wet weight sits around 458 pounds, which makes it more manageable than many of its competitors. The Transalp is priced at roughly $10,600, placing it comfortably in the middle of the adventure segment. It's a strong value for riders who prioritize practicality and reliability. This is the kind of motorcycle you can ride every day, take on tour, or explore gravel paths without second-guessing it. Quietly impressive and built to last. But the next bike? It wears its attitude out loud. Number 6. Ducati Desert X. If you are looking for an adventure bike that performs like a rally machine and looks like a retro masterpiece, the Ducati Desert X delivers both. It runs on a 937 cubic centimeter Testastretta V-twin engine, putting down 110 horsepower and 68 pound-feet of torque. That power is available across a wide range, making the Desert X as exciting on tight trails as it is on long desert stretches or open highways. This bike has real off-road credentials. It uses long travel suspension, including fully adjustable inverted forks in the front and a rear shock with preload and rebound adjustments. A high-mounted 21-inch front wheel and 18-inch rear help it clear rocks and ruts, while the upright cockpit and tall handlebars give it the commanding presence needed for aggressive trail riding. The fuel tank has a rugged split design, and the seat height sits at 34 inches, offering serious ground clearance. Despite its aggressive stance, the Desert X is incredibly refined. Ducati's electronic suite includes cornering anti-lock braking, multiple ride modes, traction control, wheelie control, engine braking management, and even a quick shifter. The TFT Dash is one of the most user-friendly in the industry and gives riders real-time access to all settings with easy thumb control. The chassis is lightweight yet strong, and the brakes are Brembo units with dual discs up front and a single disc at the rear. With a wet weight of approximately 490 pounds, the bike feels stable but not overly heavy, even when the terrain gets tricky. Priced at around $15,300, the Desert X sits at the higher end of the middleweight class, but it more than earns its premium status. It's the kind of machine that combines Italian design flair with real-world capability, perfect for riders who want their adventure bike to turn heads while tackling trails. Beauty and brawn in one package, yet it comes at a premium. What if you want top-tier off-road tech without the price shock? Number 5. KTM 890 Adventure R. If your idea of adventure is blasting through rugged terrain, hammering down fire roads, and pushing your riding limits, then the KTM 890 Adventure R is a serious contender. At its core is an 889 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine that delivers an impressive 105 horsepower and 74 pound-feet of torque. This kind of output places it among the most powerful middleweight adventure motorcycles available in 2025. What makes the 890R a true standout is its rally-level off-road hardware. The bike features WP Explore suspension front and rear, offering over 10 inches of suspension travel. The setup is fully adjustable, allowing riders to fine-tune their bike for technical single-track or fast open desert. The tall stance, high ground clearance, and aggressive chassis geometry give it an unmistakably rugged silhouette that commands respect wherever it goes. KTM's engineering focus on performance is evident in the fuel tank design as well. Rather than mounting all the fuel up high, the 890 uses side-mounted, low-slung tanks to lower the center of gravity. This keeps the bike balanced and easier to manage, especially at slower speeds or in tight, rocky trails. Combined with its off-road focused seat shape and standing-friendly ergonomics, this bike feels like a competition machine straight from the factory floor. Stopping power is delivered through dual-disc front brakes and a single rear disc, all managed with KTM's cornering anti-lock braking and off-road traction control systems. The lightweight frame and high-spec components bring the total weight to around 463 pounds dry. The bike also includes full LED lighting, a robust skid plate, and a modern display that allows quick access to ride modes, suspension presets, and navigation features. With a starting price just below $15,000, the 890 Adventure R is a premium choice for riders who take their off-road ambitions seriously. It is a raw, high-performance tool for those who prefer dirt over pavement and demand nothing less than excellence from their machine. No bike dominates the trail like the 890R, unless you want similar DNA with Scandinavian style. Number 4. Husqvarna Norden 901. For riders who want all the performance of a hardcore adventure bike, but with a touch of refinement and unique visual appeal, the Husqvarna Norden 901 delivers the perfect blend. Built on the same platform as the KTM 890, the Norden features the same 889 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, producing 105 horsepower and 74 pound-feet of torque. That makes it a top-tier performer with the added benefit of Scandinavian design and street-friendly comfort. Where the KTM is unapologetically aggressive, the Norden softens the edges without dulling the experience. Its rounded bodywork, integrated LED lighting, and touring-focused ergonomics give it an approachable premium aesthetic. The seat is more padded, the windscreen is more protective, and the tank design allows a relaxed riding posture for long-distance comfort. For riders who split time between pavement and trail, this makes a huge difference. The standard model comes equipped with WPA PEX suspension front and rear, offering solid travel and plush damping for mixed surface riding. For more serious off-roaders, the Expedition variant includes extended suspension travel, pre-fitted soft luggage, and a center stand. Like the KTM, it uses a low-slung fuel tank to optimize the center of gravity, keeping the bike balanced even when fully loaded with gear. Brakes include dual front discs and a rear disc with switchable cornering anti-lock braking and multiple traction control levels. The electronic suite is robust but user-friendly, featuring multiple ride modes, cruise control, and a color TFT dash with navigation functions. The total wet weight hovers around 478 pounds, but thanks to its balanced geometry, the Norden handles exceptionally well for a bike in this class. Pricing starts at just under $15,000, matching the KTM 890 Adventure R. For that money, you get the same firepower with a more luxurious ride experience and a unique look that turns heads at every gas station or trailhead. Ruggedness meets refinement. But now let's rewind the budget and bring back some serious value. Number 3. CFM-OTO 800 MTX. If your goal is to ride far, explore dirt roads, and keep your wallet intact while doing it, the CF-Moto 800 MTX might be the best-kept secret of the middleweight adventure category. Built around a KTM-derived engine, this bike runs a 799 cubic centimeter parallel twin that delivers 94 horsepower and 64 pound-feet of torque. For its price point, those are serious numbers, giving you power and response on both paved and unpaved terrain. While this bike is assembled in China, the engineering influence from KTM shines through. The chassis geometry, engine performance, and overall package are clearly modeled after the proven Austrian platform. It rides on KYB suspension components with an inverted front fork and rear shock, both adjustable for preload and rebound. Jaehuan supplies the braking system, which includes dual front discs with radial mount calipers and a single disc at the rear, backed by switchable anti-lock braking for light off-road use. The wet weight comes in around 470 pounds, which is competitive given the fuel tank capacity and included hardware. The frame is steel with a cast aluminum subframe, and the riding position is upright, giving the bike a comfortable and commanding feel. The seat sits at approximately 33.5 inches, making it approachable for most riders while still offering good ground clearance. The technology suite is surprisingly modern for a bike in this class. A full-color TFT display shows ride modes, trip data, and includes smartphone connectivity. You also get cruise control, handguards, USB ports, and LED lighting as standard. Add to that a sizable fuel tank, and you've got a practical and affordable touring setup that's ready for real mileage. With a starting price just under $9,000, the 800 MTX punches far above its weight. It may not have the legacy of some of its competitors, but for riders focused on value and versatility, this bike is a serious contender. Proof you don't need deep pockets for deep adventure, but what if you're looking for the freshest redesign on the market? Number 2. BMW F900 GS. For 2025, BMW took everything that worked about the previous generation and re-engineered it for true middleweight dominance. The engine remains an 895 cubic centimeter parallel twin, but output now climbs to 105 horsepower and 68 pound-feet of torque that puts it right at the top of this class in terms of sheer performance. Where things get interesting is in the chassis. The frame has been lightened, the geometry sharpened, and the suspension tuned for aggressive trail work. The front suspension uses an inverted fork with generous travel, while the rear runs a preload and rebound adjustable monoshock. Combined with an upright seating position, wide handlebars, and narrow waist, the bike is noticeably more capable when standing on the pegs or carving switchbacks. Braking is handled by dual front disc brakes with axial-mounted calipers and a single rear disc. Anti-lock braking and traction control come standard and can be configured based on terrain. You also get BMW's Ride Mode Pro system, which includes customizable engine maps, cornering anti-lock braking, and off-road assistance features. The ergonomics have improved significantly over the previous model. The seat height has been raised slightly to around 34 inches, which improves ground clearance without alienating average height riders. The bodywork is slimmer and more aggressive, while the windscreen offers better airflow for long-distance comfort. A full-color TFT screen provides all relevant ride data, navigation integration, and Bluetooth connectivity. There's also an optional quick shifter, heated grips, and electronic suspension available for those who want even more touring capability. With a starting price around $13,700, the F900 GS doesn't come cheap, but it does come correct. Refined German engineering with trail credibility. But number one brings something unique to the table. Number 1. Aprilia Touareg 660 Rally. At the top of the list sits a bike that blends agility, performance, and off-road precision better than almost anything else in the middleweight adventure category. The Aprilia Touareg 660 Rally. This machine was already impressive in its base form, but in 2025, the Rally Edition takes it to a whole new level. At its core is a 659 cubic centimeter parallel twin engine, pushing out around 80 horsepower and 52 pound-feet of torque. The Touareg Rally's strongest asset is its suspension. You get long travel front forks and a fully adjustable rear monoshock that together deliver excellent control over rough terrain. New for this rally version are single-rate springs, improved internal damping, and added protection underneath. Perfect for riders who plan to spend more time on the trail than on the highway. This bike also comes fitted with an SC Project exhaust system that saves weight and delivers a throatier tone without being overwhelming. The frame geometry and ergonomics have been tuned specifically for off-road comfort and control. With oversized spoked wheels and generous ground clearance, it feels just as capable threading through rocky trails as it does hustling down a winding back road. The seat is slim but supportive, and the upright riding position makes long days on the bike feel more relaxed. The bike weighs in under 450 pounds wet, making it the lightest in this roundup, and that advantage is felt immediately the moment you hit technical terrain. Braking is handled by dual front disc brakes and a single rear, assisted by adjustable anti-lock braking settings tailored for off-road or street use. The dashboard is a full-color TFT unit offering selectable ride modes, traction control, and rider-customized settings. With a starting price of around $12,800, the Touareg Rally is a serious piece of equipment that balances hardcore off-road talent with real-world rideability. That's the list. Which bike would you trust to go the distance, and which one's on your bucket list? Let us know in the comments, hit like if you found a new favorite, and subscribe so you never miss what's next.